Hello everyone, this is Bernie again, and today's tutorial we're going to continue this one. I'm going to add subject this painting. If you want to watch the full tutorial of this painting landscape, you can go down to the description box. I'm going to put a link for my full tutorial this painting. Before we're going to start with that, I'm going to recall. Now, I'm going to introduce my color here for my this color. I'm going to use this part of my painting tutorial. So this one is my titanium white, this one is cadmium yellow, ultramarine blue, brilliant red, and a black color. We're going to do here is just we're going to paint here first the house. Then I'm going to do here first the subject here, this area, and followed by this area here. So I'm going to do first the left side of this canvas. First thing to do here, I'm going to create here the house. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to mix the color of this red and black color, just small amount of black, just small amount of black. This is the base color here. I'm going to create here a house. I'm going to create here a very basic house here. This is the roof of my house here. You can easily do this because I will make here very easy house here. I'll just make here a very easy house. So that if you want more detail this house, can do that because you have lots of time for that. So just paint here first, just find first the perspective of this house, the exact perspective of this house there. Just using these two color here, I will create here the base color of my house. There you go. This is my base color. Later we're going to detail also this part. And there you go. Just shape of a house first. That's the base color. The base color of the house. I'm going to add more black to this color. I'm going to create here the shadow or the shading part of the roof, so that we can easily here add more detail. This part is a little bit dark color because this area, we assume this area is not affected by the direct lights. Kind of a dark part. Then I'm going to add a blue color to this color that we mixed earlier, the black and the red. I'm going to add a blue and just add a little white. I did not touch the direct white there, so that I can easily manage the color while combining this color. I want the exact color here to be applied to this part. This kind of color here, because this area is not yet affected by lights. Just do little by little to combine the color to this kind. What I did there, just little by little combining the colors so that we can create a very nice color here, the highlight. You can control the highlight of the color or the lighter of the color And there you go. This area is not affected yet by the direct light, so it's like a dark color. Let's add a little blue, then white. I'm going to make this little by little, make it lighter, just like that. I'm using my number 4 round brush, but when you use the brush, it depends on how big your canvas. You can use bigger than this, but on this tutorial I'm going to use smaller because my canvas is a little bit smaller. So there, then I'm just going to add more light color or more white color. I'm going to do here highlight effect. Highlight this area because this area is affected by 2 direct lights, so we're going to lighten that part using the more I add more white. There you go, just like that. That area is affected by too much light, so we can make her more lighter color. That one. Then this color also, I'm going to add white color to this color that we mixed earlier, the black and the red. I'm going to add white so that I can create a lighter brown because this area is affected by a light. We're going to lighten that part. Just add red and the black color. Yeah, there. There you go. That's a very basic house. And you can do this. This is very easy. Just add blue to this color and a white. We're going to make a little cold color. Using this color, just add more blue and white. I'm going to add here just the some highlight of the roof, not too much lighter because this area is not affected, as what I said, that is not affected by the direct lights. So there, some window, so I'm going to use this or just mix the color, this white and the blue color, but it depends on you on what color do you like to your window, and also you can adjust here. This one, this is very basic here, just using my line brush, or if you have your number 0 brush, that much better. That's very pointed also. That's the color of my window. It's lighter. Just there. And this part also. Depends on you, and if you give more detail this window, you can do that, but be sure that that window is perspective to the house also. There you go. That's very good house now. So another part of the roof. Maybe we're going to add here. But we're not going to give more detail this because it's like a behind this, it covered with this little a little land area there. So we're going to mix the color. Just a little bit light color here. We're just we're going to give here and there. For the highlight here, we're going to use this white color. I'm using my thin line brush, very thin. There you go. We're going to add here a detail. Just a little lighter color here. Just follow what I did here, or just observe. You can observe this one. You can also follow this very easy house there. I need the more. I'm going to mix the color, this blue and the yellow to create the green color, and just add a very small amount of red. Just small amount of red. There you go. I'm going to make here some bushes here. There you go. And I'm going to add also some I'm going to add some flowers. Can add here a good looking pathway, so I'm going to add white to this color that we mixed earlier, the blue, the red and the black color. The red and black color, just add a blue color. So the blue color, there you go. We're going to detail this pathway. This one is a pathway. You can make more detail this. To add lighter color for some highlight. Lighter color here. Just there. It's a nice pathway. So we're going to add more highlight color here, this part. We're going to add also the chimney. So I'm going to mix again the blue, the red and the black color. I'm going to add here a little chimney here at the back portion. This house. Add white for the highlight this part. For the highlight the bricks to this chimney. Let's add more white color for more highlight of the bricks. Then the shading or the shadow here. Need to add some shadow because our sun is here, so we're going to add here the shadow of this chimney. There you are. It's nice. We're not going to let this. Add more shadow here. Then we're going to add also the smoke at the top of the chimney. There you go. You can make this more detailed. Just touch a little with my finger, thumb. And I'm going to add more white to this color to make some lighter smoke there. Mix the color of this blue and white. Just add a very small amount of black color there. Going to add here is fins. Just a little fins. There you go. And there you are here. Fins here. Can make this more detailed. I know you can do this because you can save. You have lots of time for this. This is just for the tutorial here. For the sake of this tutorial, I'm going to make this more basic so that you can easily do this. And now we're going to add some lighter color there. I'm going to add white for the highlight here. There you go. The shadow of this fins I'm going to add, or just mix the black and the blue color. I'm going to add here the shadow, some shadow here because our light is coming in this area here, so we're going to add here some shadow the post to the post of the fins, and also I'm going to, there you go, the shadow the fins to the soil, just a little there. So that fins will identify that shadow. We're going to mix the color white and the red color, just add blue so that it will minimize more warm color. I'm going to add more white there and a blue color. Add some, you know, the highlight here, because we just need this one, because so that the will identify the highlight of the or the shadow of the fins and the highlight. So the next thing to here, we're going to add here a port for the boat. I'm going to mix the color of this red and the black color. There you go, and just add a blue color so that it will minimize more warm color. I'm going to add here maybe this one. That one, then just add more black, the red, and add a blue color. I'm going to find here the perspective, this port. Yeah, very small port. I'm going to add here a port for our boat. This area is a very remote area, so we're going to add here a boat so that this boat will we'll use them for the transport, because this area is, we're going to assume this area is very far from the city, so we need here a boat and some other this is only the base color, so later we're going to add more detail to this port. Just add more black and blue color, just mix this blue and black. Just paint here for the post to this area. There you go. I'm going to add here the wooden floor this this tiny, very small port. So the next thing to do, we're going to add also the yellow to this color that we mixed earlier. The red, the black, the red and the black. We're going to add yellow. There you go. I'm going to add here for the wood color, or the first layer of the highlight, just add more yellow. This kind of color, just add a little red. The first layer of the highlight of the floor. The first layer of the highlight the floor to this very small port. Then I'm going to add more yellow to this color and just a tiny, very tiny white. As you heard in my background, you can hear a ghost farm animal. I have here lots of farm animal like goats, chicken, and my neighbor here also. We have lots of animals like a cow, goat. Sometimes you hear that one in my recording. That is fine for me because they are natural and I like the voice of every animals here. There you go. First layer of my highlight to this wood. The wood in a port. Just like that. This one is the post. The post of this wooden port. So the next highlight, just add more white to this color that we mixed earlier and just add a little red just there. We're going to add here a third part of the highlight, this wood. There, you can make this more detailed, this port, so that I know you can do this because you have lots of time for that. So now we're going to add more white to this color. We're going to add more highlight to this port. Now let's assume this area is hit by the lights, direct lights coming from the sun. So we're going to lighten this area. There you go. This one. We're going to assume this part is hit by the light coming from the sun. So we're going to lighten this area. There you go. There you are. It's very nice. Need to add more white color. To add more white. So we're going to add, we'll just mix the color red and the blue. Just add white. Just add white and add red. I'm going to make them so we're going to make this more detailed. We're going to make that more detailed. Then the red and the blue again. Just mix these two colors. Just little by little add light color. We're going to add here the area that are not affected by the lights. We're going to add here also, or just add some detail, this wooden part. So the next thing here, we're going to color the post. So for the back portion of this post, we're going to color that one. I add light. We need to minimize that lighter color that we add there. That's fine. And this one also here. Then the light color. This one also here. Just like that there. Very nice. And this one is hit by direct light, so we're going to lighten this part also. We're going to minimize here a little. Minimize some light color there. The black and blue color. We're going to add here the some shading part here, or the shadow. The area that are not affected with the lights, so we're going to make this. That's very nice, you know. Just add some detailed, just a little detail there. Go. There you are. That's very nice. Very nice. The next, add more white here, or the highlight, the post. This area is affected by too much light, so we're going to make this more lighter there. Red and the black color. Red and the black color. Just add blue color here. We're going to add some dark color to this side of this port. Then we're going to mix the color of the red and the blue color, and just a little black. We're going to add here more detail here. This part, this side. There we go. The breezes of this small port. So now guys, we're going to add here a boat and a man riding with a boat. So, but first we're going to add some shadow to this, under this port, and this wooden port. Using this dark color, I mix the color, the blue, the red, and a small amount of black. There, I'm going to add here for the shadow Next thing to do here, we're going to have there the boat. So I'm going to use this dark color we mixed earlier, the blue, black, blue, red, and black. So I'm going to make your tiny boat. We're going to find here a perspective of boat. There you go. There you are. Maybe this one. And there. This is only the base color of my boat here, so we're going to detail this. I'm going to color this boat with the red color. I'm going to mix the color of the red and a blue color. Just add a blue color, and let's see what can we do here. There you go. And there you go. And this one. There. The body of this boat, I'm going to add white. Just add white to the side of this color that we mixed earlier. Little by little, just combine this color. We're going to find here the light color for our highlight. There you are. This kind of color. There you go. There you go. Now let's add a little lighter for the highlight to this part. This area also, not too highlight, not too light color, because this area is not affected by too much light. The only lights that are affected to this area is reflected light coming from the water. So just like that. There you go. There you are. Just here and there. That one. So, and also we're going to use this white color for this area that are affected by lights, or the color, the paint to this area. There you go. This one also. There you are. That's nice. There you go. Very nice. Just add here more highlight to the side. This area is affected by too much light, so we're going to make this a little bit lighter color this side. It's time also to add some human riding a man riding a boat, so I'm going to mix the color, this yellow and a white color, white and a yellow. I'm going to use this color. Then we're going to find the perspective of this human. I think it's too much light, so we're going to add a little blue to minimize more lighter color. Just use this blue. There you go. And we're going to add here just directly the body of this human, the body of this man here. Be sure that this man is perspective to the boat, the exact body here for this man riding on this boat. Let me say the fisherman. It's fisherman here. Just like that. That one. Then let's add some lighter color with this body of this part. There you go. We're going to add this area is affected by too much light, so we're going to lighten this area a little. This one also. That. So we're going to add the hat, fisherman hat. So you know what the fisherman hat, but be sure it's perspective. The head not too big and not too small, just exact. There you go. There you are. Now let's mix the color, this blue and the red color. Let's mix this, just combine this color, because we're going to add here the shading part, the area of this hat that are not affected by the lights. So we're going to shade that one like so. So how about we're going to add here more blue color. The blue color, we're going to darken this area here because this area is not affected by the lights. There you go. That one. That's the that's the head of that head part. Let's add the blue color. We're going to add some a little detail with this, the clothes of this fisherman. The clothes of this fisherman, we're going to add a little detail here. And there you go. That's nice. Just add some shading or the shadow. This area is not affected by the lights. There you go. That's a very tiny mound there because that's very far, a little far. So we're going to add here there you are. That's a very tiny hat there. You can make this more detailed if you want, because you have lots of time for this. So the next thing to do here, we're going to create here a paddle, this fisherman, because this is not complete without the paddle for this boat. So we're going to make here a paddle. And there you are. That's very easy. It's like that, and there you go. And there you are. I'm going to make here a paddle. This fisherman is paddling here for to the boat. There you go. Just like that. But you can make this more detailed if you want. So we're going to highlight this paddle. There you go. I think it's too much, but for the sake of this tutorial, just there. The man is paddling with this kind of boat. You can make this more detailed. You have lots of time for this, so you can make this more detailed. You know, the shadow or the reflection of this boat to the water. Going to add a little black to this color that we mixed earlier, the red and the blue. We're going to add here tiny, you know, just like that. There you are. The shading or the reflection of the boat to the water. So then how about the white color? You know, there's a white there at the top. How about we're going to add some highlight. Add some highlight here, just a little highlight. Just add a little highlight here. There you are. That's very nice, very nice. And guys, we're done with this painting here. We have a very beautiful additional subject here: the house, the fence, and a port, and also the man riding on the boat. And also, if you want to watch the full tutorial of this landscape, you can go down below to the description of this video. You can find the part 1 of this painting tutorial. The additional subject here is my part 2, so just don't forget guys to subscribe my channel and click the bell symbol so that you always notify if I have a new upload to my channel, like a new video. So thanks for watching guys. See you for my next painting tutorial.